Welcome back to the channel, and today we need to talk about something that has the entire Marvel fan base absolutely buzzing: Deadpool and Wolverine 2. Because after Deadpool and Wolverine became one of the biggest superhero movies of the decade, fans everywhere have been asking the same question over and over again. Is this happening? And if so, when? And today we are breaking down every single rumor, every hint, every quote from Ryan Reynolds himself. So buckle up, because there is a lot to unpack, and some of it might honestly surprise you. But before we go any further, I want to be completely upfront with you. Nothing about this sequel is officially confirmed yet. There is no green light, no director, no release date, but there is enough smoke here that we cannot ignore it. So let's dive straight in. First, let's talk numbers, because Deadpool and Wolverine did not just perform well, it absolutely dominated, grossing over $1 billion worldwide and becoming one of the most successful R-rated films ever released. And when a movie makes that kind of money, pairing Ryan Reynolds' fourth wall-breaking chaos with Hugh Jackman's long-awaited return to the adamantium claws, you would think Marvel and Disney would be racing to greenlight a sequel immediately. But here is where things get interesting, because reports from July 2025 revealed that Marvel Studios executives were not feeling any urgency to make a fourth Deadpool film, largely because of a wider pullback happening across the entire superhero genre industry-wide, meaning even a billion-dollar hit was not enough to fast-track this one. And that tells you something important about where Marvel's head is at right now. They are being far more careful, far more selective about what gets made next. Now here is where the hope comes back in, because in January 2026, insider Kim Masters reported that Ryan Reynolds was personally focused on making the next Deadpool film. And then just a few months later, in April 2026, Reynolds gave a direct update saying he has some stuff kind of written. But he made something very clear in that same breath. He doesn't think he will ever center Deadpool again as the main lead, saying, quote, "I have some stuff kind of written, but I don't think I am ever going to center him again. He is a supporting character. He is a guy who is great in a group." And that quote alone is massive, because it tells us that if this sequel ever happens, it is probably not going to be a Deadpool and Wolverine direct continuation in the way we expect. Instead, Reynolds seems to be envisioning Deadpool dropped into a much bigger ensemble story, surrounded by other heroes, using his comedic chaos as a supporting element rather than carrying the entire film on his own shoulders. In fact, Reynolds has discussed this idea for years, telling The Hollywood Reporter back in December 2024 that he would love to see Deadpool cross paths with the Avengers and the X-Men without fully becoming part of either group, explaining that Deadpool's entire identity depends on staying an outsider. His coping mechanism of using humor to deflect his own insecurities only works as long as he is never fully accepted. And he warned that if Deadpool ever does officially become an Avenger or an X-Man, that is essentially the end of his journey as a character, which is a genuinely fascinating piece of character philosophy from the man who has played this role for over a decade and clearly understands exactly what makes Wade Wilson tick. Now let's talk about the rumors specifically tied to a sequel, because an industry insider going by the name My Time to Shine Hello has claimed that Deadpool and Wolverine 2 will eventually be made and released, with speculation suggesting it could potentially arrive after the events of Avengers Secret Wars. And if that timeline is accurate, it would make a lot of sense, because Secret Wars is expected to be an absolutely massive multiversal reset point for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. And dropping Deadpool and Wolverine into a brand new post-Secret Wars landscape would give the franchise an entirely fresh playground to work with, rather than simply rehashing what worked the first time. And then there is the Wolverine question, which honestly might be the most uncertain piece of this entire puzzle. Because while audiences are expecting the X-Men to officially merge with the MCU following Avengers Doomsday in 2026, it remains completely unclear whether Hugh Jackman himself will return to play Wolverine in any future films going forward. And that uncertainty is a big deal, because the entire magic of the 2024 film was built on the chemistry between Reynolds and Jackman specifically. If a sequel happens without Jackman back in that yellow and blue suit, it fundamentally changes what this franchise even is. Interestingly, rumors have already started swirling about potential recasting possibilities for Wolverine, With names like Henry Cavill being floated by fans, Cavill, of course, already appeared as a multiversal variant Logan in the 2024 film, which only fuels speculation further, though again, none of this is confirmed, and Marvel has said absolutely nothing official on the matter. So what does all of this actually tell us? It tells us that the appetite for more Deadpool and Wolverine content is absolutely there, both from fans and from Reynolds himself, but the path forward is genuinely uncertain. Marvel is being cautious with the broader superhero genre right now. Reynolds wants Deadpool to evolve into more of an ensemble player rather than a solo lead. Jackman's future in the role is up in the air, and the timing might be tied to the massive multiversal shakeup that Secret Wars is expected to bring. What we can say with confidence is this: the door's not closed, Reynolds has material written, the box office numbers absolutely justify a sequel. Now let's actually break down who else could be coming back, because the supporting cast of this franchise is just as important as Wade and Logan themselves, and there is a lot riding on whether these familiar faces return. Cassandra Nova, the chilling telepathic villain who terrorized the multiverse in the first film, remains one of the most popular antagonists in recent Marvel history, and fans are desperately hoping she gets a second chance to torment our heroes if this sequel ever materializes, though her exact fate after the events of the last film leaves plenty of room for writers to bring her back in unexpected ways. Then there is Vanessa, Wade's longtime love interest, the emotional anchor that keeps Deadpool grounded no matter how chaotic things get around him. And many fans believe any true sequel needs her back in some capacity to keep that emotional core intact. We also cannot forget Blind Al, Wade's sharp-tongued roommate whose comedic timing has become a franchise staple, and Dopinder, the loyal taxi driver turned unlikely ally, both of whom audiences have grown to love precisely because they ground Deadpool's insanity in something warm and human. And let's talk about Mr. Paradox, the bureaucratic antagonist from the Time Variance Authority, whose role in shaping the multiverse could easily tie directly into whatever comes after Secret Wars, making him a very real candidate to return in some capacity. Behind the camera, director Shawn Levy has built an incredible relationship with both Reynolds and Jackman, and most insiders agree that if a sequel happens, Levy is the only person Marvel would trust to bring this chaotic tone back to life exactly the way fans fell in love with it the first time. And the moment anything becomes officially confirmed, you know we are going to be the first ones breaking it down for you right here on this channel. So if you do not want to miss that moment, make sure you are subscribed and have your notifications turned on, because when Deadpool and Wolverine 2 becomes official, this channel is going to be covering every single detail the second it drops. So let us know in the comments below. Do you want to see Wade and Logan return for a true sequel? Or are you more excited about Deadpool finally joining a bigger ensemble like Reynolds has been hinting at? Because either way, the multiverse is far from finished with these two.